Okay, good evening, Altadena. We are ready to start. This is the Altadena Town Council, and the meeting for November 21st, 2017 is hereby called to order. The time is 7:07. Okay, the Pledge of Allegiance for tonight, we have a group, and I am going to have Councilmember Knapp to introduce the group that will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance for tonight.
Good evening, fellow council members and community. I'm pleased to introduce Girl Scout Troop 201. The troop consists of 11 girls, mostly fifth graders, out of High Point Academy in Pasadena. The fifth grade girls are in their second year of working towards their Bronze Award, the highest award a junior can earn. For their award, the girls voted to work on a year's worth of projects, all related to improving the environment and educating their community about environmental issues. The girls will have completed 40 hours of community service by April to earn their award. Here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance are Charlotte McDonald, Ava Rubo, and Lavinia Shong. Please stand.
Ready, set, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Girl Scouts Troop 201. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, next, the recording secretary roll call. Councilmember Matthews.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Council, please acknowledge your presence when your name is called. Nestor Torre.
Present.
Okorie Ezieme.
Present.
Veronica Jones.
Here.
Victoria Knapp.
Present.
Jennifer Lee.
Here.
Billy Malone.
Excused absence.
Diane Markison.
Here.
Judy Matthews present. Justin Robinson. Here. Gloria Senyika.
Present.
Patricia Sutherlen.
Here.
Dr. Sandra Thomas.
Present.
Sylvia Vega.
Excused absence.
John White.
I will check to see. I believe it's an excused absence as well. Then I'll check.
Okay. Dr. Reginald Wilkins.
Present.
And Dorothy Wong.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum at 13 with 3 absences.
Thank you. The next is item number 1.3, and that will be the agenda. I'll turn it over to the Vice Chair.
Council members, I believe, hopefully you have the agenda in front of you. There are copies on the piano if anyone didn't pick up a copy on the way in. I have a couple of additions to add to the agenda. Let's see, we have under committee reports, item 6.3, Education Committee. And under community reports, we have item 7.6, 46th Assembly Report.
Madam Vice Chair.
And are there any other additions that needed to be added?
I'm sorry. Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
I would like to add the Community Relations Committee report to tonight's agenda, and I'd also like to have it added permanently monthly to the monthly agenda.
6.4,
Community Relations Committee.
okay? Anyone else? I already added you. Okay, in that case, I move that the agenda with the additions be accepted.
You've heard the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposing? Okay, that is the order for tonight's meeting. Moving along to item number 2.1, and that will be the chairman's report. I will try to be brief and get it all together. To the community and to my fellow council members, thank you for your attendance tonight. At the October meeting, I introduced 4 words: progressive idea, community engagement. Council members, are there anyone who doesn't really know that you were elected as a voice of Altadena? I don't think so. Altadena, with a population of approximately 45,000, you are representing a city larger than South Pasadena with 24,000 approximately in population. Monrovia, 36,000. San Marino, 13,000. San Dimas, 33,000. This is to just name a few. So our responsibility, we should not take it very lightly. The duty as a representative, I believe, must be discharged to the best of our abilities. Sometimes it requires huge sacrifice on your part. We must learn to listen to the citizens of Altadena. To achieve this, we must continue to be actively engaged, visible, and accessible. Active community engagement inevitably leads to progressive ideas and community building. Now, I know we've been celebrating Veterans Day. I would like to know if there are any veterans in the audience. Let's give them a round of applause. Please stand up, stand up. Keep standing, keep standing. I want to make sure we recognize you. Thank you. We salute you for your sacrifice and service. We know there are a few Gold Star members, Star families in Altadena, Pasadena, and Sierra Madre. I know I attended one when they unveiled the monument and the park specifically set up for Gold Star members that were honored a few months ago. To those families, we'd like to salute you for the ultimate sacrifice that your husband, children, relatives made for the peace and for the protection of this nation. Let's give them another round of applause. In the spirit of the Veterans Day continued celebration, your Altadena Town Council would like to honor the oldest known living veteran in Altadena. We are still searching. We do know one person that is 94. Before we honor that individual, we want to announce it and see if there's anybody else that may be older than that. So if you do have any information, please, I would like for you to actually bring it to my attention. My email is my first name, dot, and that's Okorie, O-K-O-R-I-E, dot, Ezieme, E-Z-I-E-M-E, at altadenatown.council.org. If you go to the Altadena website, you will be able to find that as well. So that is what we would like to do with respect to the oldest known living veteran. We really do a lot of work as your town council members. Once a month, coming here is not it. Almost on a daily basis, we are interacting with the community. So, and I know that I'm speaking for all the council members, we really would like for the community to know some of the things that we do within the community. I'll just give a few things that I know that I participated and I know other council members did since the last town council meeting. On October 18, there was a this was hosted by Congresswoman Judy fifth annual Recognition of Excellence Award. And I know millions of dollars were given to organizations within Altadena, within her district. And I know that in Altadena, the Parks and Recs received some award. And the lady next to me that heads up the Bright Futures Scholars, they did also receive part of that millions of dollars that the government give to local organizations. So on the 20th of October, Councilmember Knapp and myself, we received a guided tour from by Joe Gaydosh of Public Works regarding the tree removal and concrete pavement. So again, these are things that we do to make sure that you are well represented. I know that there are several council members that went to the Baha'i Faith Altadena bicentenary celebration. There was a transportation hearing that was substantially to improve the transportation within our region, the 710 freeway extension, the Gold Line extension. So again, we are in the community. We are engaged in the community. On November 3rd and November 4th, I'm sure the Education Committee will probably report more on that. There was an Elliott Arts Magnet fundraiser. So we thank everybody who went there and supported this school that is in our community. On November 9th, Assemblymember Chris Holden hosted senior health discussions. And we actually had an opportunity to announce to Altadena, once again, I'm announcing it here again, on February 24th, we, your town council, will be part host of the Get Healthy Altadena 2018. There will be several screenings, ultrasound of the heart, liver, and there will be body mass index, blood pressure, prostate screening, a lot of things. The key thing is that it is free. So start the year 2018 finding out how you measure up, and there is so much help out there. So your town council is busy working, making sure that we are bringing you the programs and things that you truly need. And I know somebody else will probably talk about the artisanal market. So this kind of gives you the flavor of what your town council is doing. So we ask you to continue to bring things to our attention, and we promise to continue to listen to you. So having said that, I'm going to, like I said, there's so many things. The Altadena Trial Park dedication, that's also something that a lot of us attended. So your town council are highly visible in the community. All right, so thank you so much, and that's the conclusion of my report. I'll then turn it over to 2.2, which is the Vice Chairman, Councilmember Sutherlen.
So I'd like to announce that on I look at my dates here. On November 14th, the Executive Committee met and set the agenda for tonight. We certainly accept comments under general public comments, and if you don't already know or haven't already done so, on the piano, you'll see some of these comment cards. We'd like you to fill it out, and if you haven't already done so, and just bring it up to one end of the table to give it to one of the council members so that we can take your public comment tonight. And that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. And moving along, let me take a second privilege here, if you don't mind. I know Thanksgiving is a few days, just a couple days from now. I would like to say Happy Thanksgiving to our community, and your Altadena Town Council wish you the very best of the Thanksgiving. I also like to take this opportunity to announce what we like to call for lack of a better word, your town council will be hosting a holiday event exactly a month from today. The next town council meeting will be December 19th, that Tuesday. So we will try to make it as brief as possible so that the community, we can engage the community. We encourage you to come out, socialize with your council representative, ask questions, but most importantly, there will be some sumptuous refreshments for you on December 19, which will be the same meeting. So we'll just try to fast forward things so that we can have time to interact with our community. And I know that Councilmember Matthews will probably be bringing something on the homeless count. Okay, so moving on. Item number 2.3, and that will be Recording Secretary's report, and that will be Councilmember Matthews.
Council, you were provided the proposed Altadena Council meeting minutes of October 17th, 2017, with a response date of Monday, November 20th, 2017. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing no additions or corrections, I move that the proposed meeting minutes of October 17th, 2017 are accepted as presented.
Second.
Okay, Council, you have heard the motion to accept the minutes of the October 17, 2017 meeting minutes, properly seconded. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposing? Anyone abstaining? We have two abstentions. Okay. All right, so item number 2.4, and that will be the, okay. He did not give me anything, so we skip that for now. Do we have the cat?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
All right, while you getting it,
No, I didn't get anything.
oh, okay. Thank you. All right, item number 2.5, that will be the corresponding secretary's report. Councilmember De La Torre.
Oops. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the corresponding front, I received two correspondence. One was from a Norma Ramirez from the Pasadena Foothill Associations of Realtors, which was, I believe she sent to everyone because it says Dear City Officials. But it was a 2017 third quarter market trends report for the Pasadena Altadena area. Also, I received from Judy Chu and Mike Ang, and just to clarify, this is from their campaign, not from their actual government reports, of a holiday party and toy drive, Sunday, December 3rd, 2017, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and that'd be located at the Arcadia Elks Lodge, 2025, The address is 27 West Huntington Drive, Arcadia, California. Zip code is 91007. They ask that you please bring an unwrapped new toy to benefit the needy children and local organizations. Food and refreshments will be provided. You can RSVP at Becky. Well, you can RSVP with Becky at 626-667-4699, or at the email RSVP for Judy. The word for FOR judychu@gmail.com. And again, this is not printed at the public expense. This is paid for by their by their campaign. On the website, I have a copy here. I'm not sure if you guys received one, but I can pass it around. And if you'd like,
We did.
yeah, okay. So I can pass this around. And then also on the website front, that we're still continuing with what I call the first phase of optimization of the website. I've moved some more things around. As the approved minutes have been getting approved, I've been posting them. And also there's a central location for the most recent ATC and land use meeting minutes that are within their own subheading. Also, I put a warning just to clarify that there is some movement going around, so please expect more of that. And if you have any questions, so please contact me. And that is all.
Thank you so much. I would like to also, on behalf of the council, thank you for your diligence in working on the website. We really needed that timely posting of the minutes and the agenda. So you have been doing an excellent job. So thank you so much for your dedication and commitment. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we're going on to public safety reports, and let's start with, do we have California?
Yes.
Okay, that would be Mike Ulloa.
Good to be back. I was busy with some other assignments. Tonight I have a special guest, my partner in crime this evening, Officer Paul Patton, to help me out. Okay, so the stats that I'm going over for the evening are going to be for October of 2017. Every month I come to you guys, I hope that I can come to you and say, we had 0 traffic collisions. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. For the month of October, we saw a little bit of an unfortunate spike. In total, throughout the area, we had 41 traffic collisions. A total of 22 involved property damage only. 9 were injury related. There was also a spike in hit and runs. The vast majority were vehicle versus parked cars. Minor damage resulted in those collisions, as it was typically like a vehicle passing and a mirror-on-mirror type of situation. 2, unfortunately, were DUI related, which resulted in arrest. And then there were 2 vehicle versus pedestrian crashes that were notable. I'll go over those in a second. And then we had 1 other vehicle versus a bicyclist traffic collision. On the enforcement side of things, there were 22 citations issued, and they were for the general type of things: unsafe speed, seatbelt, and cell phone use. And then going back, the first vehicle versus pedestrian traffic collision involved 2 teenagers who were lawfully crossing the crosswalk northbound on Casitas Avenue and were crossing over Woodbury Road. A motorist was traveling southbound on Casitas Avenue and was attempting to make a left turn onto Woodbury Road. The driver of the vehicle failed to yield the right-of-way and struck both pedestrians in that particular incident. This was in the morning, and they were students on their way to school. Both children were taken to the area hospital with what were described as minor to mild injuries. The second one was at approximately 8 o'clock in the evening. A pedestrian, again, was in a lawfully marked crosswalk traveling westbound on Mendocino Avenue and was crossing over El Molino Avenue. A motorist was traveling southbound on El Molino Avenue and failed to yield the right-of-way to the pedestrian. The pedestrian was struck and impacted with the roadway. The pedestrian was then taken to local hospital with what were described as major injuries, a couple of broken bones. The third incident, I talked to Ms. Councilwoman Wong already about this one. This was again early in the morning. A bicyclist was traveling westbound on Altadena Drive and was approaching the intersection of Lincoln Avenue. As many of you know, this is a congested time of the morning as students are getting dropped off at school. A motorist was traveling eastbound on Altadena Drive from Lincoln Avenue. The driver of the vehicle failed to yield the right-of-way. There are also signs in place that state no left turn during certain hours, and they again violated that signage as well. The driver of the vehicle then made a left turn into the oncoming bicyclist. The bicyclist was ejected from the bicycle and impacted the roadway. The cyclist was then transported to a local hospital, what were described as moderate injuries. So each month I try and go through all of the traffic collisions. I try and note which ones are most noteworthy, maybe some that people are talking about and want a little bit more information on those traffic collisions. Last Friday we had, well, that was October stats. Last Friday, and for the month of November, I'll talk about this one briefly because it is still an ongoing investigation, so there's limited things that I can talk about in regards to that traffic collision. But we basically had a motorist that was traveling at a high rate of speed westbound on New York Drive. As many of you know, that particular section, as you're traveling away from Lake Avenue, intersects with El Molino Avenue, which is a T intersection. At that intersection, there is a posted stop sign. And as a motorist, you're only able to make a left or right turn at that location. For unknown reasons, the driver of the vehicle continued in a westerly direction at a very high rate of speed. There is a block wall at the curb edge of the property at El Molino Avenue. The driver of the vehicles, the front of their vehicle impacted that cinder block wall, traveled through the wall, and partially struck a tree. The driver of the vehicle sustained moderate to major injuries in that collision. The right front passenger was transported to a local hospital as well in serious condition. That right front passenger ultimately succumbed to their injuries as a result of this traffic collision. As I had stated, this is an ongoing active investigation as to determine why it was that this motorist was traveling down New York Drive at such a high rate of speed. It was approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, so lighting conditions were pretty good. So that concludes everything that I have put together for the report. Are there any questions regarding that?
Councilmember Matthews?
In regards to the accident on Casitas, can you tell me exactly again what happened? 2 children were hit, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and the motorists, were they walking outside of the cars? You know, there's a white striped line there that is for the pedestrians to walk. Which side of the street? Because I know there's an area on Casitas that the white stripes have not been replaced. Okay, so do you know if were they on the west side or the east side of
They were
Casitas?
on the east side of Casitas.
Okay.
I'm going to start from here. Councilmember Knapp?
Do we know if the victim that passed away was an Altadena resident?
It was a borderline of the Altadena-Pasadena area, very close.
Councilmember Jones?
I have something, the Casitas in Woodbury, that's right there where Jackson is, the school. And just this week, I talked to 3 parents and the principal, and I talked to the county also because they talk about the danger and how many times children are almost hit there and near misses. And they asked if somehow we could get blinking intersections so that they could push, because they don't have a crossing guard at the school.
That's correct.
Exactly. And the county said it didn't warrant blinking intersect, a crosswalk.
There's, I know what you're talking about. It's the little flashing lights that are embedded
Yes.
into the roadway that kind of help highlight the crosswalk.
Yes.
I've looked into that myself, and for whatever reason, it doesn't meet the definition of an area that can include those lights.
Well, then
It doesn't,
maybe
it
what
doesn't
I-
mean that we'll stop trying to make an effort to get
Okay.
those, because I think they would be incredibly helpful to put at that particular intersection.
Because I was thinking, the definition, maybe it's time to change it.
You're absolutely right.
Because it seems if in 1 week I get 3 emails and the principal calling, and they don't have money for a crossing guard, and I guess the schools don't provide one. And not only that, at Casitas and Crosby, there seems to be an issue there too. I get emails and calls about the speed there. There's no sign, I guess, no stop sign. So, and all that's in that same area where the children go to school and stuff. So I don't know if we could work on something together to get, they even recommend, they said, can we get speed bumps? And they said, I guess there's been a study and it's no speed bumps.
Unfortunately, that's a major thoroughfare, a portion of Woodbury Road, and the speed limit is too high. There's certain criteria that must be met so that people, as they travel over these speed bumps or speed humps that they have as well, don't lose control of their vehicles. So that probably wouldn't be one of the roadways. We do have our radar trailer that we're planning on putting into the area. I did get some new signage for it, and one of the posted signs that I can put on that radar trailer say school zone on them specifically. So hopefully as people, because the majority of which people are traveling westbound on Woodbury, approaching Arroyo to enter the freeway, that's typically where we're getting a lot of those speed violations passing in front of the school.
I had asked for that trailer to be put on Windsor, but I don't know what happened. It never got there.
Windsor, I'm sorry, Windsor and where?
Windsor and Figueroa, that area by JPL, right there, right
Okay.
above Woodbury.
We'll make that happen.
Okay, thank you. And the other issue I have with that is that's kind of temporary. We need something more permanent. I mean, the flashing crosswalks would really help those kids to be able to push that button. And someone said reflectors are only for night. Well, I walk through there at night also, because reflectors are real easy to put down.
I will try and get in contact with the county and see if we can make a push towards getting
Okay.
that those lighting
Okay, and I've been
reflectors
calling there almost
embedded into
every
the
day.
roadway.
Victor Lee, he's the one who does the study. He's having new signs put up there.
I'll talk to
So,
him.
okay, thank you.
Okay, moving around. Okay, so Councilmember De La Torre.
Yeah, so the same incident about the one near Jackson, well, Casitas and Woodbury. Do you know if it was young children possibly going to Jackson, or was it older teenage kids going to Muir?
They were teenagers. I don't know what school they were attending.
Okay.
I don't believe that was put in the report by the officer. They don't ask those type of
Yeah, yeah.
questions to
I
identify
was just
their
trying to get like
comings
the
and
age
goings.
range.
I was told teenagers.
Okay.
Okay, any further comments, questions from council? Thank you so much, Officer.
One more
Ulloa.
thing, everybody.
Okay, go ahead.
Try and perk this up a little bit. On behalf of the Altadena CHP office, I want to wish everybody a safe holiday season. You know, these sayings kind of sometimes can seem a little old, but if you're out and about and you're having some fun, please designate a sober driver and think before you drink. We're about ready to kick off our Chips for Kid toy drive. We have Garth Kemp in his traditional elf sweater. It's pretty funny. We have a new supporter of the program as well. Walgreens is on the list of locations where you can drop off a toy to a kid who's in need. I'll leave these flyers on the back table. And then, Ms. Matthews, if you could pass this down to Mr. De La Torre so we can update the Altadena Town Council website.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you so much. All right, item number 3.2, that will be the Altadena Sheriff Station, Lieutenant Octave and Lieutenant Claire.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Chair, members of council, Lieutenant Mike Octave, Altadena Station, under the direction of Captain Stuckey, who was present, and Lieutenant Yolanda Clay is also present. Very happy to report a decrease, again, in crime from the month of September to October. We've had a decrease overall incidents from 43 to 37. The most noticeable decreases were in the area of larceny thefts, which went from 15 to 10, and also in the area of vehicle thefts, which also decreased, and that was from 10 to 6. And again, we can't do that alone. I attribute that directly to law enforcement working with the community. I would just like to, on behalf of Altadena Station, just want to echo Officer Barr's words and say, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and then I'll open it up for questions.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm coming. I was just going to start from my left and then walk on down. Okay, Councilmember Nat.
Good evening. I had been asked by a community member as it relates to residential burglaries, if in your experience or if any of the data that you collect, does having a sidewalk present in front of the home affect in any way burglary rates, and or does the presence of hedging affect it, and the height of the hedging? Is there something that detours would-be criminals if there's visible hedging or low hedging in front of a resident?
Yes, that's a great question. Sidewalks, to answer that question, that would not be a deterrent. On the other hand, the hedgings and the height, it really varies from situation to situation, in addition to lighting and the time of day. But whenever there's something that obstructs visibility, it can always impact crime.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Sutherlen.
You were talking about the petty thefts had decreased, and as I started to ask the question, I just wonder if I have the answer. It just seemed to me as though I've been hearing a lot of that we were having a lot more, especially thefts from cars. Mm-hmm. And it had just occurred to me, I wonder if everyone is not reporting them, because I've just heard a lot in the last, say, 30 days or so.
Mm-hmm. That could vary just based upon who is that. It could be, during a community conversation. We encourage everyone to report these crimes, and we go by what's reported to us. Right. So I do encourage everyone to see something, say something, and continue to report any crimes, and we will definitely direct our resources accordingly to saturate and mitigate these crimes.
Okay, you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Councilmember Marcus.
I would just add, see something, say something to the sheriff's station, not on just next door.
Okay.
Right? That it doesn't help us if people are just doing it on social media saying, oh, something happened without letting you know. The see something, say something is tell you guys, or the CHP, or, whoever's appropriate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Out of order, sorry. I just saw a strong arm robbery in 4612 President Street. Do you have any more details on that? A strong arm robbery around the President's 4612. Since this track, it says one. I guess we've had two strong arm robberies. Okay. One in 4611 and one in 4612. Robbery, strong arm. What is basically? It means not necessarily a weapon, but someone just grabs you and takes your stuff, basically.
Correct.
Oh, I see.
And that's not a weapon. So you have robbery, strong arm, and robbery, strong arm. The element of that would be the taking of property of one another against their will by means of force or fear. Quite often those are going to be like shoplifting type incidents. And when the patron at the local business or establishment or the citizen is confronted, if there's any resistance and that property is taken, and there's what we call asportation, presence of the property, then that basically is noted as a robbery, strong arm. Now, the instance that you're referring to in 4611, we did make an arrest behind that particular one.
And 4612 as well?
4612, that's an ongoing investigation, but we do have some information. However, I can't really give the details of the investigation.
Okay.
Okay, I think I don't see any more hands. We thank you, and
And I just have one more announcement. We do have our Christmas toy drive, annual toy drive. So we encourage everyone now up till Christmas to bring a wrapped or unwrapped toy. And if you can leave it in the lobby of the station, we very much appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
Is Elliott a drop-off for your drive? I saw something where the PTA president of Elliott indicated that their school was a designated drop-off for toys. Do you know anything about that?
I hadn't heard that, but let me check that and I can get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, somebody's coming.
Captain.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Altadena Sheriff Station. County Fire 3.3, and that would be Ms. Kraken?
Yes, good evening.
Okay. Good
Okay.
evening.
For the month of October, we had a total of 352 responses in Altadena. 294 of those were for medical calls, and of those 294 patients that were seen, 223 of them did get transported to hospitals. You know, it's always interesting everywhere I go. You know, we report traffic collisions, and they always differ from highway patrol or sheriffs because one or the other agency doesn't respond to all of them. But as he was talking about the particular, the 2 versus pedestrian and the 1 versus the bicyclist, they matched. We had 3. What's important to note for the fire department is we don't have a way to distinguish versus bicyclist and versus pedestrian, so we lump them all as versus pedestrian. So we did show 3 traffic collisions versus pedestrian for the month of October, so they matched. We did have 6 fires. We had a fire on October 7th on Madison, which was it was about a 20 by 20 spot in the backyard. It was caused by cooking in a homemade uncontained fire pit. And when the firefighters responded there was also a lot of debris around and infringing on the neighbor's property as well. So they were written a notice of violation to clean up their backyard. We had another a malfunction, an electrical malfunction of a shop vacuum on Mendocino Street, and that did end up causing about $50,000 worth of damage to the home. We had a kitchen fire on Crosby Street that was confined to the kitchen, and in total, that was about $10,000 worth of damage. We had a fire in a gas barbecue in the backyard on the 22nd on Santa Anita Avenue, and we had a trash fire on Mountain View. And on the 29th of October, we had about a half-acre brush fire on Pinecrest Drive, and the cause of that fire was undetermined. We also responded to 2 power lines that were down, one on the 5th and one on the 24th. Not to be outdone by the sheriffs or CHP, but the fire department also has a toy drive. You had to see that coming. It is our 25th year. We're celebrating our 25th year with ABC7 and the Spark of Love toy drive. So we also accept toy donations at our fire stations. But one other component to our toy drive that I want the community to know, if there are any nonprofit organizations or churches or any organizations that do functions where they give out gifts, they give out toys to kids, and they are in need of toys, we want to hear from them. And on our website at fire.lacounty.gov, under the Spark of Love section on our website, again, that's fire.lacounty.gov, there is an application that you can submit right online to request toys. It's a limit of 150 toys per organization that can be requested, but we will process that application and make arrangements. We don't usually ever run out of toys, so I'm hoping that's not the case. And it is very much our desire to keep the toys that we collect in our communities. So we encourage nonprofits and churches to come to us for their toy needs. Are there any questions?
Okay, starting from my left, Councilmember Knapp.
Can you confirm whether there was a cause of fire for the Mount Wilson fire? I know that there were published reports regarding that, but I'm not sure I ever saw an official cause for the Mount Wilson fire.
Captain, do you know? No.
Okay, who is next? Councilmember De La Torre.
Thank you. Can you distinguish the difference between, on the fire report, it says property and contents in terms of?
Property
amount?
is the house, and like the cabinets and the walls and the roof and the house itself. Contents are personal belongings inside the house.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Robertson.
Moving forward on these reports, the way you've broken out fire incidents and other incidents, it would be super helpful and an item of interest to others, including myself, if you did the same for the traffic collision versus pets and bikes. If that's something you can manage, it would be appreciated.
I will try. I will try.
Any further questions from council? How do you pronounce your last name?
Greichen.
Greichen. Thank you. I'll get it right next time. Greichen.
Okay.
Thank you.
I actually have a follow-up question. Do you want just information about, I'm not going to be able to give you information about the collision itself. That will have to come from law enforcement. But I can give you a location, and that's it. Just versus pedestrian or all traffic collisions?
We can discuss further offline. We'll keep the meeting moving. I'll send you an email.
Okay.
Thank you, much appreciated. Okay, item number 3.4, that will be CERT. And do we have Deputy Dan Page or representative from CERT? Okay, item number 3.5, that will be Map Your Neighborhood, and that will be Mr. Van der Velde.
All right, I'd like to thank you again for entertaining us to come and speak before the council. As a reminder to the audience, the Map Your Neighborhood is a disaster and emergency preparedness program. It's a nationwide program, and we have taken this on as a goal. We're a non-funded committee, so we are doing this as an opportunity for the citizens of Altadena. So I would like to encourage to look, and I'll keep mentioning, let's see, myNRSVP@gmail.com is the email address, and that's myNRSVP@gmail.com. And so they're free facilitator trainings. So please take an opportunity. Okay. I wanted to mention that we had a very successful facilitator training at the Metropolitan Baptist Church recently. We had 50 people show up. Ms. Knapp was there. Thank you very much. We appreciate the church for hosting us there. Just an awesome turnout. We've got 9 other churches that are showing interest in doing Map Your Neighborhood facilitator trainings in Altadena. So if you're interested, check with your local church and show your interest there also. And also, we've got dates set in 2018 at the Altadena Town and Country Club to do facilitator trainings every other month starting in January. So I will pass that information on to the town council to put on their website if you could. That would be very appreciative. And then, yeah, that is it. So once again, if you're interested, it's mynrsvp@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions from council members?
Thank everybody, all of the other council members that have been to our trainings also. I know Ms. Matthews is actually going to be doing her neighborhood soon. Ms. Lee and Ms. Wong have also been there, so, and you have two. I'm so sorry. So please, I would encourage, it's a wonderful community, sort of driven event, and everybody should be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you. General public comment, and I'll turn it over to the vice chair.
Okay. Granny? You're up.
I read that Ralph and Leasing are going to lease their property to grocery warehouse outlet, and they've already tried to apply for a liquor license.
That's bad. Come to the land use meeting in December.
It is happening? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is one or two people. I have Jasmine. Okay.
Good evening, Town Council. My name is Jasmine Jimenez, and I work as a health policy coordinator at Day One. Day One is a local nonprofit with a 30-year history of providing high-quality prevention, education, and policy development. Our mission is to advance public health and reduce harms associated with alcohol and other drug use. Recently, we allocated funding to provide prevention services in Altadena. This month, we launched Project Sticker Shock, which is a national awareness campaign. And we worked in Altadena and worked with local youth advocates, as Danielle, who's standing here with me, with 2 alcohol retailers, which was the All-Star Liquor Store and George's Liquor Store, which is on Fair Oaks and Altadena. We placed stickers on multi-packs and alcopops to increase awareness about the importance of preventing underage drinking. The stickers are a reminder of the California law, which states that it is illegal to sell or provide alcohol to anyone under age 21. More sticker shock operations are planned for this holiday season on December 20th and 27th to increase awareness about helping to reduce underage drinking and related harms. With major drinking holidays approaching like Christmas and New Year's, it is important to do this campaign in order to reduce alcohol access to youth and educate community members about the issue. And according to local and national data, the holidays are associated with an increase in alcohol-related incidents, including underage drinking, drunk and drug driving, and accidental injuries, and we encourage everyone to plan ahead. And also, Day One is working on increasing awareness of safe prescription drug use and disposal, and we are making this tool available to community members. If you would like to get to know more information or volunteer, I'm going to stay after so we could discuss. Thank you. And I also have some packets here for you guys so you guys know more about Day One and the Project Sticker Shock that I'm going to be working on. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's all. Unless, we don't have any more handed in? Okay.
Okay, that concludes general public comments, and we are going next to item number 5, which will be special presentation, and that will be
Pasadena Showcase House. Vicki Sung.
Everyone, thank you. I'm so honored to be here to talk about our Pasadena Showcase House. So tonight, for the first time, I'm going to publicly announce that Pasadena Showcase House will be returning to Altadena after a 16-year hiatus. And while I cannot say where the property is, I can say that it's in Census Tract 4601. So take a guess. So this year will be our 54th Pasadena Showcase House of Design, and we are already, we're not up and running, but we are getting designers to sign up and getting their proposals. And our Showcase House will open from April 22nd to May 20th. Our hours of operations will be Saturday and Sunday, and Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Fridays, we'll be open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., so only one evening out of the week, and we are closed on Mondays for media to visit. We will take possession of the house in early January, but construction will probably not begin until later in January, and we'll have a 3-month construction period before Showcase opens. And we will have a restaurant on site that will have an alcohol license through the caterer. We'll have most likely around 20 vendors in our shops section. Is there any questions?
Okay. Councilmember Sutherlen?
I'm just going to ask what the dates are this year of the house.
April 22nd to May 20th.
Councilmember Markison?
What you're saying is that the alcohol will be on site during the April 22nd
Yes.
to May
Only during that,
20th,
yes.
right? Okay. And I'm assuming that you're working with the county for all of that?
Yes, we permit everything. So everything is above board and processed through the county.
I know you guys have done this for a long time, so yeah, okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yes, Councilmember Knapp.
Councilmember Knapp?
Council Chair, is there anything in particular we need to know about traffic during construction, or do you expect there not to be a traffic issue during construction?
There will likely be trucks in the area as any construction site. We will have, we will alleviate traffic during Showcase House by having off-site parking. And this year we are planning to have everyone park at the Santa Anita racetrack and shuttling everyone in.
Will that be the only shuttle?
That will be, we'll have several shuttles running during the day.
But from that location only?
Yes, that
Okay.
is the only location, yes.
Okay.
Councilmember Markison?
Project management brain. So is this house on a, I feel like, what's my line or something? Is this house on a wide street or on a thinner street? I guess what I'm thinking about is a couple things, right? And I'm sure that you'll work with them on this, but, you know, we have challenges with filming, probably maybe in the area that you may be, and so over that period of time, you probably want to coordinate if there are other events happening during that time, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just sort of bringing it, I know you'll handle it all, but just wanted to mention.
Is there any particular department we need to work with to coordinate filming?
I would suggest working with the Altadena Filming Committee that I happen to be on. And the chair of the committee, Ann Coleman. Dr. Coleman is here. She's sitting in back, and she's actually got a presentation too. So I can get you her contact information, just so we can watch overlap
Of course.
filming and construction and shuttling and all
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I think that was wonderful councilor guidance. You're the representative from that area, 4601, and actually all of them are from there, it seems like, so you're in good hands.
Thank you. Well, one thing I do want to add is, we don't do this just because we love design and beautiful houses. We do this to raise money for arts education, and I just wanted to say that all 3 elementary schools in Altadena benefit from our fundraising. They are all participating in our annual Music Mobile, where we bring a van full of musical instruments, as well as instructors, to a local school, and 3rd graders participate, and they get to touch the instruments, play it, do anything to it. I mean, they make noise with it. And also we have a youth concert every year that we sponsor with the LA Philharmonic, where we invite 4,000 fourth grade students. So all 3 elementary schools are participating in that as well. And this year, Altadena Elementary School will be receiving a grant from us as well for transportation. So we are giving back to the community.
Okorie.
There are more questions. Councilmember Lee?
Which elementary schools? Which elementary schools?
Altadena, Jackson, and Franklin.
Okay, because Webster is also in
Webster's-
Altadena.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in this little section everybody forgets.
It's in Bajadena.
I'm
But
sorry.
It's in Altadena, just so you know.
I can check Webster's, most likely. We go to like 35 schools in the area for Music Mobile, and we invite all the schools in the local area to youth concerts.
Yeah, Webster has a Pasadena address, but is
I
in
see.
Altadena.
Okay. My mistake.
A little bit of a
No, no,
challenge, no,
it's-
it's okay.
a lot of people
Just
do
to
it.
mention. Okay.
Okay, I think that's it. And we thank you, and we are looking forward to the next steps.
Thank you so much.
Committee reports, land use, Councilmember Markison.
The Land Use Committee met November 7th. The only thing that we had on the agenda was a presentation and discussion about the Lavinia 2 project, solely related to bringing all of the new members of the committee, because we have quite a number of them, up to speed with what has already been done on the project regarding community outreach and conditions. And Judy did a fabulous job recapping all of the work that's been done prior to now on doing public outreach on the project. So we went through that so that the whole committee would be familiar with where we are now, and we could move forward from there. I did want to mention that the next meeting is December 5th, and we will have a presentation from Grocery Outlet. Grocery Outlet has applied for an alcohol CUP and will be going into Ralph's, the old Ralph's on Lake, I should say. So we will be, Daniel Harlow from the Land Use Committee is leading that effort. And so we will be doing community outreach on that, and as we do with all of our projects. We will also probably have a presentation regarding property at 638 West Mariposa, which is a proposal for a 4-lot plot plan, which sounds like I do not have all the details yet. We will be looking at that probably in the December meeting, but it looks like it's to divide the property into 4 plots of land. And that's all I have, unless there are any questions.
Any questions for land use? Okay, thank you so much, Councilmember Markison.
Thank you.
Oh, well, we will take a question from the audience, that's okay.
Thank you, appreciate it. Can you tell us anything about the development that is going on catty corner from the coffee shop, just south of Ronnie's Garage, north of those new condos in South Lake?
No.
There's been across the street from Ronnie's, and they're bulldozing that lot.
So what happens in the county is that if a project can go into a location without any conditional use permits, the county handles the whole thing and it doesn't come before us. I'm going to be talking with Daniel Harlow about this other project. If you want to leave your name and number, I can try to get back to you if I can see from Chamber if they know.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Markison, for addressing that. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next one, and that will be the FEM Committee, Dr. Carmen.
Thank you, Chair. Council members, community members, the filming committee met earlier this month, and the committee, to remind you, consists of Council Member Pat Sutherlen, Council Member Victoria Knapp, and Community Member Kenny Meyer, who is here, and myself. The first thing we did is review the mission statement, and we created a new mission statement, which was subsequently approved by the Executive Committee. And I'd like to read it to you. The Altadena Filming Committee will work to support fair use of neighborhoods for location filming in Altadena, promote filming company compliance with permit conditions, and demand respectful treatment of residents during film production activity. The committee will be a resource and liaison to council members and the community. And the filming committee also resolved to meet as needed, but at least every 2 months. Now I'd like to speak about the FAQ, the frequently asked questions. As you know, the filming committee has been working on this list of frequently asked questions for several months now. Last month, on October 17th, the committee sent the completed FAQ out to representatives of Film LA, Department of Public Works, CHP, the Sheriff's Department, and as of this morning, we had not received any corrections or revisions from any of these agencies. But knowing that the council has been waiting for these FAQ, the committee wanted to get this document in the hands of council members as soon as possible. So I sent the executive committee this morning the completed FAQ for distribution to council members and for posting on the website. As you know, an FAQ is never final. FAQs can and should be periodically updated. And as it happened, about an hour after I sent the FAQ to the executive committee, we received corrections and suggested revisions from Film LA. So it seems that the first update of the FAQ will be happening over the next few months. Now we have a completed FAQ that I've sent to the executive committee, and we have suggestions for revisions already from Film LA. And here's what I suggest. Because the FAQ that the filming committee sent to the executive committee is based on conversations, emails, and county documents, the document is accurate. We know the FAQ are accurate. The update will tweak some points, but may take several months to complete. Therefore, the filming committee is of the opinion that it is worthwhile to put the current FAQ in the hands of council members now and not wait for the update. Any questions?
Any questions from council? Okay, Councilmember De La Torre.
It's more of a comment. Yeah, you mentioned that you have a mission statement, the new mission statement. Do you mind sending that over to me? And
yes, I would be happy.
I can update your film committee site.
Certainly.
Councilmember Marcuson, and then Councilmember Sutherlen after that.
Well, can we make a motion to have that FAQ distributed to the committee, to the council?
I don't think that will be necessary at this point. It was submitted to the executive committee, and we have not had a chance to discuss anything on that. What we will do, as the executive committee responded, is that because we received it today and it's a holiday, it's 17 pages, at least give us the opportunity to digest it for a moment and then get it out. Okay? So we don't need a motion at this time because it has not left the executive committee, it's still within the executive committee. Right. But it won't be long.
Right, but I think what I heard Ann say is that rather than wait for any updates from Film LA, what she would like to have is have, I guess after you guys look at it, to have it distributed to the committee, to the town council members for review.
Yeah, that would be correct. Dr. Coleman had suggested that we do not wait for any further revisions. That we agree. We are not waiting for revisions prior to releasing it. the executive committee would like to take a look at it, which as of right now, we have not looked at it. I know I haven't looked at it. I took a quick look, but I need to go through it. I don't know if the other executive committee members had the opportunity to go through it.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, you're part of the.
I guess,
Yeah.
I guess,
I have not gone over it that thoroughly.
I guess what I feel like is that the committee's done a whole lot of work, and there are a few more steps that have to go before we can get it out to the public. So that, I think what I'd like to ask the executive committee to do is to come up with a time frame by which you guys will have, like, you'll look at it by such and such a date, it'll come out to us, we'll look at it by such and such a date, comments need to be back by such and such a date, so that it's not 2020 when we do it.
Right.
That's right. Councilmember Marcuson points out and makes an important point, and that is that we would like to get feedback from the council members
Right.
to see if there any clarifications are needed or more information on any point.
Okay.
I think let's kind of clear this here. I think the point that you made earlier, which was, is it continuous? It continues to evolve. We understand that. We received it today, so it's not like we received it yesterday. So we should be allowed to go over it and then get back to. I responded back to you right away. So we do need the time to go over it.
Okay,
Right?
so we'll just
The entire council will get it very quickly. We're not going to sit on it. That's for sure.
Could I ask what do you think the timing would be to get it out to the council?
In my email.
Approximately.
In the email, I did say that because the holidays upon us, we got barely 48 hours into the Thanksgiving season. And right after that, we should be able to go through it and get it out to the council.
Like by next week?
Like what day?
We will get it out to the council as soon as possible. It might happen, tomorrow next. We will get back. It's been less than 48 hours, less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
so.
let me say respectfully that nobody is expecting you guys to have gotten it out to us now. What we're looking for, and everybody agrees that, we're eating turkey on Thanksgiving, but we would just like to know, like, if we could get it a week from Friday, no later than, back from out to the committee?
It will not be long, and we have had it for only less than 24 hours. Give us the opportunity to go through it. I'm not sure what you're not understanding, that it will not be a month. So I put it that way.
Well, we're asking for a target date, Okorie, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any other questions for Dr. Coleman? All right. Thank you. Item number 6.3, and that will be the Education Committee. Not yet. We're not there yet.
Is this working? Okay, hi. Okay, just a couple of things. There will be a neighborhood mixer for residents in the boundaries of Altadena Elementary School on January 21st in the afternoon. I'll have the flyers for everyone next month. The purpose is to introduce the school to the residents. The principal, Benita Shekel, will be there. It will be in a private residence and hosted by an Altadena family. The second item is the committee will have our second town hall in January in this room. We're working out the date, and it will be announced next month. It will be similar to the last town hall. All representatives from the public schools will be there, principals, and basically everything's moving along very well. We're doing a lot, and we meet every month on the second Tuesday of each month in this building. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know.
Are those meetings open to the public?
Just one. Okay, just projecting ahead with the Education Committee, I think it's going to be time also for us to try to get together with the board some type of a joint meeting at some point. Okay, thanks. Councilmember Knapp, we're going to go this way.
The mixer that's in January, because the Altadena Elementary School has special programs, both the dual language immersion program and the arts magnet, is it only going to be open to residents that are in its boundaries versus the greater Altadena community who might want to select that through open
Well,
enrollment?
We're not going to really turn people away, but for one, it's a private home, so size is an issue. And two, we decided that the people in the area of the school needed to get to know the school. That it's a neighborhood school, and we wanted to introduce it to the people in the area who really don't know about it. So that's how we're going to start this process. This is a process.
Thank you.
Councilmember De La Torre.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Councilmember Lee, if you don't mind, I would like to update the website, but with the Education Committee being so new, I don't have any information, but if you take a look at the other committee websites, it has, like mission statement,
Oh, yeah, sure. We can do
chair's
that.
email, members, stuff like that. And then, I believe there's a report from the town hall as well, right? And if you'd like that
Yes.
posted or anything else
That'd be
regarding
great.
the committee,
Yeah, we can do that.
send it at your earliest convenience, and I could update it. Thank you.
Okay, 6.4, that would be the community. Oh, no, is the Community Relations Committee's report, Dr. Thomas.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Council and community. I am the appointed chair of our Altadena Town Council Community Relations Committee. The committee members serving with me are Mr. Elliott Gold, representing the community, and Councilmember Judy Matthews, representing the council. The purpose of this committee is to encourage a deep sense of connectability, I guess we could say, and neighborliness. We want to be good neighbors between the entire community and including the town council. This committee is also responsible for communicating shared information to the council and community regarding upcoming events that are not mentioned by the other council people, and also the reported outcomes and results of different events and happenings in the community. We on this committee are also asking all Altadena residents, reach out to your Altadena council so that we can respond to your needs and to your concerns. We have to know what you need before we can respond. Our committee has several plans, which will include, on occasion, celebrating and acknowledging Altadena and our citizens. We would like to do this along with other organizations and et cetera. We want to thank all of the council members who joined us. I think as part of it was mentioned at the annual Altadena Block Party that was held at the main library on November the 11th. We had a great time, by the way, Minnie. Especially, I want to thank Councilwoman Judy Matthews for the fantastic map that was made. Large map, had all the census tracts, and she even went so far as to have a picture of all the council people on the map in your census tract so that everybody that came up would know exactly who their representative was. The banner was beautiful. I hope that we use it on many of our outings and occasions. It was indeed an impressive display. And it drew a lot of people to our station, and many of them committed to attending upcoming council members in the future, and that's what we wanted to do. Also, a thanks to all council members that attended. There was 11 of us that attended the ribbon cutting and the grand opening at the Altadena Triangle Park. I'm not going to say anything else because others have reported on it, but we had a great time. We do realize and accept, as our chair said, all the council members are very busy around in their census tracts and all over the community. And I want to say that the feedback that we are getting on our committee is very positive and very appreciative that council members are out and about in the community. In conclusion, let me say, we do have a community request. And the request is that town council members with PUSD schools, and we'll turn this kind of over to our chair, in the census tracts. If we have PUSD schools in our census tracts, community is asking that we report regularly on those particular schools, on their good, on what they need, and any way that we can help them. They said if we can do that, it would really be helpful. And the community members say they feel that this is important because school consolidations and closures are being discussed at this time. And we all know from the past that that has affected Altadena gravely. This is a public request. So with that said, Mr. Chair, this concludes my report. But now I'm going to ask Councilman Nestor de la Torre to share something that we're working on.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. At the most recent Altadena Triangle Park reopening, we were approached conjointly by a community member named Gary McCarthy, who told us about a mural going up at the Lincoln Center, which is near the corner of Lincoln and Altadena Drive. And he just wanted to bring awareness to it, especially to kind of get some type of dedication, or possibly, you know, have some community members there for the unveiling of some sort. So we thought we'd bring that up with the rest of the town council and with the chair to see if we can get ourselves involved. Well, not just type of like a certificate of recognition of during the unveiling, which he hasn't provided the complete details on, but he has said it's within the next month it should be complete. So if that's something we can do, then I feel like it'd be a good thing for the community relations to kind of highlight that side of the west side, which is usually.
So we'll talk to our chair and other committee and see, you know, if that's something that you would like for us to undertake.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
For your report. There is one of the council members have a question or comment, and that will be Council Member Marcuson.
Yeah, I would just encourage us to, if we're really going to be involved in all of these types of events, for someone from the council, whoever census tract it is, to be in contact with the person to make sure that they've got all of the county permits and approvals and all of that for what they're doing, because so often we find that, you know, people with all good intention will go out and do things, and they haven't made sure that they've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. And it's just so much better for us to just, even if the answer is yes, it's all taken care of, for us to do that ahead of time so that we don't dedicate it, go out and dedicate it, and then have somebody complain and then have to do something to paint over it or something. I mean, who knows, right? So I would just encourage, I don't know whose census tract that's in, but I would encourage them to contact the county and just, you know, and help the people with making sure that everything is okay and approved. That's all.
Thank you. We'll do it.
Can I respond?
Sure,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that's on private property. It's the hair salon that's attached to that Lincoln Center, but I'll double check to make sure to
Right,
get
so
everything, check all the boxes.
We
and
had-
Dr. Thomas, when we were meeting with that resident, like allowed me, because yours is north of Altadena Drive, right? Yeah, so this is south of Altadena Drive, which is Gloria and Dr. Thomas. So she
Right,
allowed me to take kind of, not the lead, but, you know, to be the one communicating with the community member to make sure we get the full details before I send it out to the full Altadena Town Council.
Okay.
Okay.
We had a situation, just as an FYI, we had a situation over in my census tract where there is a bakery that painted on the side of the wall, and it was not appreciated by everybody, and the county got a complaint and came out and said that because it was paintings of pastries, that it was advertising, and that they were gonna have to not. What I'm trying to say to you is, don't assume.
Yeah.
This is what happens in Altadena. We think we can do whatever we want with our property, and in fact, the reality is that there are rules. So even if it's on private property, okay, and that's what this was, on private property. So I'm just trying to be, I don't want to be doom and gloom, I just want to be, let's be proactive,
All
right?
right.
And help, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Information well received. I believe it will be also, we won't have time to actually entertain this on the executive committee. So as quickly as you get some information, it will be nice to let us know so that we can proceed. You had, Dr. Thomas, you talked about the education and the request from the committee, from the community. I did also receive something similar to that, so the whole thing will go over to the education committee chair so that everybody involved or impacted can work together on this.
Right.
All right?
Yes.
Councilmember Lee? Okay. Okay.
Right, right. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll give it to Madam Chair.
All right, moving along to the next one, which will be we're moving quite well. The Altadena Community Report, and the first one will be Ms. Mindy Kite, Altadena Library.
Good evening, council members and community. Thank you for having me, as always. We were so happy to see you at the very first block party. We hope to have more. We hope you'll come again. It was highly successful. We estimate, we don't have any way of exactly knowing, but we estimate we easily had over 1,000 people that came through that day. And we want to especially thank Artisanal LA, who put that whole event on for us at no charge to the library and did all the work, paid all the permits, paid for everything that needed to be paid for, and did all the management of the project. I want to do a little plug for one of my favorite programs, which is always on the last Tuesday of the month, so a week from today. That's our open mic night. If you've not made it to that, you are really missing out. It is amazing, the quality of the musicians, poets, and storytellers that we get, and that was a result of the community conversations and is done by a community volunteer. On Monday night, the board will be having its November board meeting, and I will be presenting our annual audit that night. And I wanted to just give you a brief heads up on the annual audit. So it will be for the year end of June 30th, 2017. And per these draft audited financials, the district had a change in its net position of an increase of $578,571. The district fund balance ended at $2,949,749. Over the past 3 years, the fund balance has increased every year from $2,248,871 on June 30th of 2014 to the $2,949,749 on June 30th of this year. This is especially notable, in my opinion, because during this time period, we have made improvements and increased wages to staff, increased the district's share of funding for the employees' health insurance, reduced the district's liability for compensated absences, reduced the district's retirement benefit costs by increasing staff's contribution to the retirement plan to the maximum for those on the CalPERS Classic Retirement Plan. All others were already contributing the maximum. Made substantial improvements to the facilities, technology, collection, and general operations, increased open hours by providing regular after-hours programming, all while increasing the capital, assets, and fund balance of the district. If you would like more information about the annual audit, it will be up on the website after it's approved by the board. The draft will be up this week. And finally, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Any questions from council for the Altadena Library, your own very library? Thank you so much, and you have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Chamber of Commerce? Okay. Collaborate Pasadena is not here. Anyone?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Collaborate Pasadena, Councilmember Gloria Sanika.
For not overlooking me this time. Thank you. The Collaborate Pasadena meeting was held on October 25th at 6 p.m. in the Franklin, excuse me. The Collaborate Pasadena meeting was held on October 15th at 6 p.m. in the Franklin Elementary Library. Principal Dr. Marion Stewart provided us with a virtual tour of the campus. We welcomed new parent representative members to the council. Dr. Marissa Sarian gave a presentation on linked learning, preparing students for college, career, and life. We learned about the Pasadena Unified School District's college and career preparation efforts, and there was discussion on strategies that students could take to reduce the amount of debt paid after college. We discussed the need to develop policies and procedures for Collaborate Pasadena. Then it was announced that there would be no meeting in November, and that our next meeting would take place on December the 6th. And with there being no more questions or concerns, the meeting was adjourned at 7:45. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Sanika. Collaborate Pasadena. Any questions for Councilmember Sanika? Again, thank you. LA County Department of Public Works. Oh, actually, it's LA County Department of Parks and Recs. Okay. And Southern California Edison, Mr. David Ford.
Good evening, Council President and Council members and members of the audience. My name is Dave Ford. I'm the Public Relations Manager for Governmental Relations Manager for Southern California Edison. I'm responsible for Los Angeles County and Los Angeles City of Los Angeles, as well as Metro. And I'm here as we had indicated earlier this year that we would come out and provide to Town Council information regarding the major upgrade of our infrastructure here in your city. As you know, this project has taken much of this calendar year because of the capacity and size of the project. It's replacing 8 circuits, increasing the voltage on each one of these circuits from 4 kV to 16 kV. It impacts probably roughly around 10,000 customers, 10 or 12,000 customers. And I want to say this, and there's a lot of lessons learned from this project in the beginning of how we approach the community of Altadena, the city of Altadena, and started this project. We probably should have done a lot better, engaging more stakeholders, engaging the town council and other communities that were sensitive to the infrastructure path of these circuits. And you know as well as I do that, you know, Altadena is a very cherished community when it comes to trees. We've learned some major lessons in this project. We really have. And yes, I think that once we were able to identify these challenges, we got a team of folks together and individualize each one of these projects where we're replacing a pole or going into a backyard or front yard and talking to customers and getting permission to top the tree or trim the tree or do some light trimming that they agreed to and that it would work for us to continue the project. And I have spent many evenings here in the community meeting with various residents, and other colleagues of mine have done the same. One of the things that I was particularly concerned about was that I felt that we needed to listen more to the community and be more sensitive to the needs in the community. And that's one of the reasons why I had suggested and recommended to the contractor working in the community that they stay on top of this job, stay engaged on the job, and address issues as quickly and as promptly as possible. We've worked with County Public Works, we've worked with Supervisor Barger's office, and we are sharing updates with them on an ongoing basis. This project has roughly around 227 or 270 poles, about 567 transformers. And the cost of the project is roughly around $38 million. When we're done with this project, you'll have pretty much a brand new system here in Altadena. And as you know, the grid of the future is one that is very complex in the way that we're switching and moving electricity around our distribution system. For instance, where folks who have solar on the rooftops, that they have excess amount of solar, we're able to tap into that solar and reuse it into the grid. And the switching that takes place with electric vehicles all help the state meet its greenhouse gas initiatives by 2030. So the investment that we're making here, like we are in other communities, is helping address the clean air initiatives that the state of California is striving to achieve to the 1990 levels. So we appreciate all that you have done to support this project, the town council, and I sincerely apologize for the challenges and the uncomfort that many of our customers have had to face with this project. But I think that we have really learned from this process that the activity of engagement is really critical early on and not halfway through, and really stopping to listen to people when they have a complaint. I think all y'all know me. I'm accessible. I've made a commitment to bring your issues to our management at Edison, our contractor crews. Where we fall short, I make sure and identify these problems early on and try to address them. And I'm not saying that we won't make no more mistakes, but when we do make mistakes, we'll try to correct those actions as swiftly and as promptly as possible. We have 3 more circuits that we have to change over, but we're going to stop the robust amount of work that we've been doing because of the holiday season, and kind of relax on our efforts to complete this project by the end of 2017. There will be no more outages going into this week, and the contractors will be working with the town council, myself, and the county to minimize the duration of these outages and impacts that it has as we approach the holiday season. So I appreciate the time this evening to come before you. I will share as much information as I can provide it to the town council president and other council members as well. And does anyone have any questions on our work or this, my information I've shared?
I do, there's one question, at least one council member that I see, and that is Council Member Lee. Okay.
A lot of complaints, or at least one complaint, about the outages being longer than they were told. Like, the outage was supposed to be till 6 o'clock is what their notice said, and then it went till 10 o'clock. And I think this happened quite a bit, and they were particularly upset that it was happening right before Thanksgiving. So I just wanted you to speak to that a little bit, because we still have more to go.
Yes, and I actually talked to the contractor, the director of the operation this evening as I was heading over here, and that was one of the things that I brought up in our conversation, is that we need to be more, give a little bit more accuracy in the duration of these outages. And you know, when we change to a different time zone, it gets darker early, and you know, when people get home, they, you know, kids are in school, they need to do their homework, people need to cook early, and you know, you get prepared for work, and it's a little bit unnerving when you have an outage going into the late hours of the evening. And you know, so we're going to be backing off of those behaviors. If you know, I'll give you my card, and if you encounter some additional activities like that in the future, please let me know.
Councilmember Knapp?
Okay, that was my question too.
Okay. Any other questions from council? Well, as usual, any other comments from you?
Well, I just want to say lastly, and this is non-related to the work that we're doing, Southern California Edison, or Edison International, has an annual scholarship program that we award $30,000, $40,000 scholarships to high school seniors that are living in our service territory. And these scholarships are related to STEM curriculum in college. And I will pass that information. The deadline is December the 1st. I'll pass that on to the town council, and it would make my day if we got a couple kids from Altadena to be recipients of those scholarships. You know, it's a very good program that we've had in place, and this has been one of our proud moments, is when we're able to go and surprise a kid in a classroom that they're recipient of a $40,000 scholarship. So I've been able to do that a couple times, and it's the highlight of my career. So I'll get that information over.
Did you say $30,000, $40,000?
No,
$40,000 scholarships.
Yeah, $40,000 scholarships.
And so and it's an application process
Yes.
that's due on the
Yeah,
1st of December?
If I'm going to pass my, if someone would send me, I'll pass my card, and someone be the person I could send it to socialize it to the rest of the council, I'd appreciate it, instead of me trying to
It will be the chair to the Education Committee, Councilmember Lee.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, you send me that email, and then, well, first send me the email about this scholarship, and then, you know, if you run into problems on the outage stuff, have it in a separate email. But I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving.
Electrified Thanksgiving? Electrified?
Electrifying Thanksgiving. Electrifying Thanksgiving.
Yes, we want to make sure the power is on, right? Okay, okay, okay. Pardon me? There is a pending rate increase that will be rolling out in a short time frame. But what I'd like to do is come back to the town council and give a presentation on that information. Is that okay? Yeah. I'll be glad to do that. I wasn't prepared to talk about that this evening, and I didn't want to keep y'all here longer because I can get real long-winded. But thank you so much. And Councilmember Thomas, if anyone has any good sweet potato pies that they're, you let me know.
Because he can't eat. Come on,
Okay.
we'll find some.
Okay.
Well, speaking of that, I don't know, you probably missed my remarks, the chair's remarks. Yes. On December 19, which will be our December meeting, we'll try to be quick so that we can have a social event like we did the last year. So you are definitely welcome.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you all in December and working with you in 2018.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, census tract reports, 4601.
Oh, 46, there we go.
7.6.
We added it. 7.6. 46 assembly.
41st Assembly.
Whatever it is. Thank you.
Okay. My apologies to you. I did not capture that. So 41st Assembly report, Councilmember Matthews.
Thank you. Altadena homeless count is January 23rd, 2018, from 8 to 11 p.m. Loma Alta Park is the deployment site for 2018. A special thank you to the following 2018 sponsors and supporters to date. LA County Parks and Recreation, 41st Assembly, Chris Holden, Altadena Sheriff Station, Councilmember Tyrone Hampton, Pasadena Rose Bowl, Little Red Hen Restaurant, Famed Church of Pasadena, Dr. Hilly Dyson and family, Greg Stanton Compass, and Water Wheels Records. There are others that are confirming with me, so I think we'll have a really nice list of sponsors and supporters. As we embrace the holiday season and the spirit of giving, please remember those less fortunate than us. The website is now live, and you may sign up for the 2018 Altadena Homeless Count at www.theycountwillyou.org. Select January 23rd and choose Altadena. Council and the community. If you have groups or people you know who want to volunteer, please have them sign up as soon as possible as well. The Altadena flyer for the 2018 homeless count will be placed on the website. Hard copies of the flyer will be made available at the center next week. As of yesterday, 13 residents of Altadena have signed up online. Committee members are myself, Ann Langston, Dorothy Wong, and Pamela Burton. I have one more pending person, which is a gentleman, and he's going to confirm with me tomorrow. In regards to the transportation hearing, Chair Okorie, Ezieme has already addressed that. I was in attendance at that because I'm part of the 41st Assembly's committee, local government committee, and it was at the Justice Center. Participating panelists discussed how to advance sustainability goals in current and future transportation projects, from creating sustainability communities to fixing our roads and highways while advancing the economy and creating jobs. The selected committee on regional transportation solutions participation in the hearing included Assembly members, representatives from 4 districts. Topics discussed: sustainability communities included complete streets, active transportation, and the 17 North Corridor, including jobs, economic benefits, job creation, and infrastructure improvement. The last to my report is in the spirit of giving. Again, Assemblymember Holden joins California Water Association to provide Thanksgiving dinner for Flint Ridge Center families. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure if I missed when you reported on the open house, the open house for the unwrap for the shoe.
Yes, I did
that.
attend that.
Okay. No, there's one that is happening in December.
On December?
Yeah.
I will be attending that. Judy Chu's open house.
No, Assemblymember Chris Holden has the open house Tuesday,
For the
December
Chews.
12.
I haven't received the flyer yet.
Okay. That will be 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., 600 North Rosemead Avenue, Suite 117, Pasadena, California. All
That's
right.
correct. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sneakers.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilmember Matthews. And the next one will be 46, okay, census tract. I didn't miss anything else, right? Okay, got it. 4601, Councilmember Knapp.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two updates for Census Tract 4601. First is that on October 25th, the Regional Planning Committee met to discuss the proposed CUP for the sale of beer and wine at the Altadena Marketplace. I want to thank the over 40 or so community members who attended, many of whom provided public comment. The committee voted in favor of approving the CUP and to extend the term of the CUP from 5 years to the more standard 10-year term. The applicant also reached out to me to provide this comment to the community, quote, "We want to say thank you to the community for their support, and we are currently working on pulling permits and reaching out to tenants and vendors," unquote. My second update has to do with the LA County Department of Public Works concrete curb repair and tree removal project that you referenced earlier. It's been occurring throughout the month of December in the census tract. The project is to identify trees that are causing significant damage to the curbs and sidewalks in the public right-of-way. And if it's determined that a tree cannot be root pruned, the trees are removed and curbs and sidewalks are repaired. From the original scope of work that cited 60 trees for removal, the county garnered feedback from the community and scaled the removals back to 21 trees, some of which were dead, that Chair Ezieme and I toured at the end of October. That list was further scaled back to 15 trees in total. Removal of the trees will be completed this week. Stump grinding has started, and concrete repair work will start after that. Homeowners that were affected by tree removals were also offered replacement trees at the county's expense.
Okay, thank you so much. Any questions for Councilmember Knapp? Okay, one from Councilmember Wong.
Yes. Hello. So my question is, what streets or streets are the trees being removed?
They're being removed throughout Census Tract 4601. So,
just various.
Yeah,
various
it was
places.
Loma Alta, Maiden Lane, Marchetta. I think we looked at a tree on Holliston, but we looked at every single solitary tree, the damage that had been caused to the curbs and to the sidewalk. We looked at the plans for fixing those. And I will say that there was a lot of, what ends up happening is the Department of Public Works tags the trees that are going to be removed. They engage with every homeowner that has an affected tree. So after we did our walkthrough, one of the homeowners up on Loma Alta reached out actually to let us know that they were very concerned about the removal of 6 eucalyptus trees that were along Loma Alta on the back of their property. And I was able to work with Jake Gadosh, and we suspended the removal of those trees pending them looking at whether or not it would really affect he was very concerned that it was going to affect the stability of the retaining wall. And it was determined that it probably would. And so those trees have been removed from the scope of work. But it was really all throughout the census tract, and they'll be moving beyond this census tract to other census tract, and they'll contact you. They'll give you a list and an address of the trees. You can do a walkthrough yourself. It's quite an extensive project, and it's been going on. It's a 10-year project, and they're about 7 years in, happening all over the county.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Councilmember Knapp? Okay, Census Tract 460301. Councilmember Wong.
Yes, hello, thank you. I just wanted to give an update, and Councilmember Veronica Jones was also there on November the 7th. We attended the LA County Board of Supervisors meeting regarding the Devil's Gate Dam sediment removal project, and I would love to hear from Veronica Jones as well, but I would say that we're happy to report that Supervisor Barger listened to community members. I spent some time at the Altadena Farmers Market, and we did a postcard signing with different people that were coming through the market and talking about saving some of the precious watershed in the Arroyo Seco, which pretty much is from the Devil's Gate Dam north towards Altadena and our whole side. So the project basically was reduced 700,000 cubic yards from 2.4 million to 1.7. And Catherine Barger was very clear to say 1.7 maximum. So there could even be a smaller amount of sediment removal done. And she also, it was a unanimous vote by the Board of Supervisors. The county will also work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to complete the stalled Arroyo Seco ecosystem program. And the county will be contributing $2.5 million to complete that project. The county will also work with Pasadena to improve stormwater capture and groundwater replenishment in the Arroyo Seco spreading basins in the Jajamagna watershed. And of course, we'll be providing an annual report on cost and progress of the sediment removal program. Also, ensuing that all changes be covered by the revised EIR, and the revised amendment also authorized flood control staff to maintain sediment storage at a safe level in the future. So those are all really great things, and there's still an amazing opportunity for Altadenans and everyone surrounding the Jajamagna to get involved because the project is in a scope that's maximum of 1.7 million cubic yards of removal, and then an ongoing sediment management program. So we can still address issues if people are concerned about air quality, the number of diesel trucks coming through and around our area, and also the mitigation program with the permanent destruction of mature trees is still not black and white. So this is an amazing time to get involved in the project as it moves forward. So it was, I wanted to commend, and then I'd love to see if you had any comments, Councilmember Jones, on the sediment removal. Oh, darn, sorry. And, but it was really great to have, we were looking for a compromise, a lot of community members, including myself, and it was great to see that our supervisor was looking out for us, and there's more room for everyone to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any question for Councilmember Wong? Okay, Councilmember Wilkins.
Has the route been finalized? I guess, are they going to basically go down New York to along? I mean, it has been finalized. Is it public to see where?
Yeah, it is. They're not going down New York. They're going to go Woodbury, and they're building a special off-ramp, so they don't
On the
have to
mic, please.
Okay. My understanding is that they're gonna build a special ramp off of Woodbury that will allow the trucks to go inside the Big Dig and come out without impacting neighborhoods.
I think I understand what you're asking. This is apples and oranges. It has nothing to do with the New York extension
Yeah,
and
it's
the
not New
dig
York.
to channel the water piping. This has nothing to do with that.
If I just may just interject, so the pipeline project was maybe what you're referring to
Right.
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
through New
that's
York
different.
Drive has been put on the back burner, so is no longer part of
But
that.
eventually, all
It's
this
in the
stuff is
back
going to
burner.
wind up in, around the golf course, basically. All this stuff will be moved
No.
from, that's not going to happen.
No, it's going to Ontario,
Oh.
right?
It's going
out
to Irwin,
Irwindale,
sediment is being
Irwindale.
taken to
All right.
Irwindale.
Voila.
Dumped in that
And
big.
the green trees will be cut down any of the actual, they're cutting down a significant number of mature trees, and those will be taken to Sunland.
Very good, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 4610.
Judy, she's the other part of that census tract.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't pass on the baton to Councilmember Matthews. Okay, now is your turn.
Okay. No parking signs. For the past approximately 1 year, Damon Hobby has been working on getting Public Works to install no parking signs for street sweeping between Lincoln Avenue and Olive Avenue on Altadena Drive on the north and south sides of the street. Through numerous efforts and conversations with road maintenance of Public Works, it was agreed that no parking signs would be placed. The public was informed by letter to ensure that each community member understood the need to keep our roads clean and of the specific parking restrictions. Additionally, the parking restriction signs had to be approved by the supervisor's office. Before Mr. Hobby left his seat here on council, he had made reports to the community during his census tract report how he was working with the Public Works on this matter. And I'm now this evening pleased to announce that no parking signs are now up and posted. There is no parking on Altadena Drive between Lincoln and Olive Avenue on the north side of the street on Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. and on the south side of the street on Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. This was done to clean up debris near the sidewalks and to make Altadena streets more beautiful and safe and clean. And I will be visiting other areas of Altadena within the census tract regarding no parking signs as well.
Thank you so much. Well done. Any questions for Councilmember Matthews? Okay, I think it's safe to move on to 4610.
Okay, thank you. Both of mine, well, I had 3 things, and 2 of them have already been spoken about. The street signs, we received street signs in our census tract, and they're regarding the street cleaning, and they're really nice, and it's good to have them, but we have a street with 10 homes, and we had 6 signs, so we had an issue. Between Figueroa and Windsor, there's 14 signs. So it's like it was sign overkill, and lots of people on Saturday morning were out front saying, I don't want to look out my window at a sign. But the county came out on our street and they removed 3 of them. Yeah, but we're happy to have the signs, and that was good. Okay, as far as the big dig, we're really happy. The supervisor did really well. The dirt's not going to be flying in our neighborhood and our windows the way they've constructed it, and as long as they keep to the plan. And also, there'll be jobs available. They have to hire so much community hiring from within the community, so we need to keep our ears and eyes open. And I asked them to come out and do an outreach to Altadena regarding local hiring and exactly what would go on. And the other item was Jackson Elementary. They're getting new signs. And I think this was probably started before I got on the council, but the signs are going up. Victor Lee is the person responsible for doing the signs, and he's who I've been talking to about the car accidents this week and putting in the flashing crosswalks and other issues, traffic issues along Windsor and that whole Windsor from Ventura down to Woodbury. So he's looking into it and doing a additional study. They already did one study, but just to see what actually could be done immediately and not wait 2 years. So,
Can I ask a question?
Okay, question for
So,
Councilmember Wong.
Yes, I would love, since it's in your census tract, again, from a bicyclist and a commuter point of view, they put in a center turn lane that goes pretty much all the way down from Ventura to Woodbury, a center, median. And what it's done is it's pretty much pressed the bicyclists and all of the people coming and going from JPL southbound, and I find it dangerous because the cars, there's no room for the cars and bikes, and everyone is really ready to go home out of JPL, and they're kind of shooting down the street. So I just want to bring that up while you're talking to them.
okay. All right.
It's basically Windsor from Ventura, where all the way down to Woodbury, they painted a double,
It's like
a
island.
turn lane in the middle. And so what it's done is now it's shrunk the amount of
That's
space from the sidewalk to the road. And so the cars have to zoom around in the center lane to get around the bicyclists. And then there's a little storm drain swale. So if you're riding, you either have to go into the swale or you have to move over further. So it's created a hazard, and it is a...
The one issue
Yeah.
with that is that people trying to turn into those streets that live on those streets, Vista Laguna and all the streets right there, they have to get over on that island in order to turn, because the cars are going so fast, they just can't just slow down and turn. So they use that island to get over and to watch the southbound traffic to make their turn.
Yeah.
So that's one reason.
There's like one block that they could probably eliminate.
Okay, we'll talk
just to
about
give
it,
more room.
and you
Yes,
can tell me.
Okay.
totally.
Okay, okay.
All right,
So-
I'll
one more
make-
thing, and then I'm almost done. One more thing. Jackson Elementary School is having a holiday fundraiser, and they don't have a crossing guard because nobody will pay for it, and they paid for it themselves for a while. Now they don't have money. So they're having a holiday fundraiser where they sell Christmas trees and wreaths, and you buy them online and you pick them up at the school, and they're really reasonable. And if anybody, I could give you the email, but the thing is, it's really long and you might get it wrong. So, because it's www. Email it. I'll email it to everybody because it's really inexpensive and the money goes to their general fund. So thank you.
Okay, just one moment. I see you. We'll get to that. You, Councilmember Knapp, you have a question?
When is the sediment removal project slated to start?
2018,
Right, they're going to start with the Woodbury off ramps and on ramps.
but not before spring
Okay.
2018.
Okay, there's, I take the chair's privilege to recognize someone from the community. Go ahead.
Another outreach too.
Going back to Windsor, I live on Mountain View. I try to get onto Windsor either in the morning or later in the
Yes, it's bad.
in the afternoon. I can never get out because the people going up to JPL, they need to put a stop sign or something there so that people who live on Mountain View can get out because Ventura comes around, but we're right there and we
Can
can't
get
get out.
There's going to be a stoplight, but it's going to be in 2 years. So they were trying to figure out something we can do sooner and not wait for the stoplight.
Right. Okay, apparently we've engaged the community and we remain engaged, so your question, there's a solution, but it may not be right away. So if there's anything else, you can address it with the representatives. Is that okay? Thank you. Okay. Councilmember De La Torre.
In terms of Councilmember Wong's inquiry about the bike lanes on Windsor, I've been in contact with the county about that because it's a major thoroughfare, not only for, business people going into JPL, because a lot of them ride their bikes to work, but also for recreation on the weekends. And it's supposed to be, I believe it's a class 2 with a Shero that they're supposed to paint over, but it's not really there because it's kind of like faded out. But I told them about it, and they're aware of the situation, but the same thing, that it's not slated for a quote-unquote repainting for X amount of years. So just getting community involvement to bring attention to that issue would, I believe, highlight it, but also other issues like the stoplight, to bring community awareness to fasten the process.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, progressive ideas, community engagement, and work get done. So at this point, I don't know if there's anything else. On 4602, and Ms. Rotwell, is the Passara having anything? Do you know? For the toy drive? Yes. Okay. Any date for that? That will be my census tract report. So anything?
It will be December 9th.
December 9.
From 10 a.m. to noon.
Okay, December 9 from 10 a.m. to noon, the Passara Palm Street Area Residents Association. We always do have a toy drive, and we support the sheriff station. We're part of their donors for toys. So again, December 9th from 10 to noon. Okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I just want to emphasize that the open house was the open neighborhood at the library. The people that signed my sheet have already got in contact with me. All of them that signed my sheet sent me an email. So I was really happy. It was a way to help build up my email list. So that was really good. So
Okay. Anything else? All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Okay. There's been a motion to adjourn, seconded by 2 individuals. So, all right. So for your record, there will be Councilmember Thomas, seconded by Councilmember Sutherlen. And the meeting is adjourned, and the time is 9:19.